Good morning.
Are you measuring dreads? Is that what
you're
doing? Good morning and welcome to the Sun Dragon Sideshow.
The VSC edition today.
Yes, it's a
Most
Wednesday.
Dangerous show of the week. Yay!
And I have to figure out which of these we don't have online yet. I know we have some of them. Anyway, so we've gotten a lot of either new colors or refills or things, a handful, into the shop lately. And it might look a little weird and almost empty behind us because I'm
rearranging.
I mean, Liz is rearranging the wall. Yes. And let me back up. Hi, I'm Rebecca. I'm the owner. I'm going to move that more towards the middle, maybe. Of Sun Dragon. Okay.
Issues?
I interrupted myself. Hi, I'm Rebecca. I'm the owner of Sun Dragon Art and Fiber in sunny and nice and hopefully going to be nice today, Brevard, North Carolina.
I'm Liz. I'm the minion there. It's supposed to be like 80 degrees.
But
so,
I saw low 70s, but high 70s.
High 70s, low 80s, but yeah.
That could be because it was checking the weather where I live, which is a little higher up.
Yep.
So, yes. Slowing down a bit. Welcome to the Sun Dragon Sideshow VSC edition, where we're going to talk about some yarn. So, we got word from Cascade that Heritage Wave, they may not be able to work with the same mill anymore. So, the yarn is probably leaving their repertoire. So we stocked up. Yay!
Yeah.
And we could have gotten more, but I didn't.
Yeah.
So
I know.
I could have gotten more. So we have a good stock of most colors, not all colors, but most colors of what we carry of Heritage Wave. And to remind people, Liz will read stats in a second. Heritage Wave does like a slow color change throughout. It's a sock yarn. It's kind of like the Perth. The colors may not be as varied, except for some of them. They come in a twist, like this. And whereas Perth comes already caked up. And it's kind of like a fingering weight version of our feeder brook, except it's more mass produced and it is the merino and nylon rather than roving gangs of sheep, right? So,
yes. And it waves through the colors instead of the color changing. So you said fewer colors.
Yeah, it waves through fewer colors maybe than the Perth does, but it's Heritage Wave. The name implies instead of like stripes of color, it gently changes, and I think it's really fun. It's like our second favorite yarn to do papillons out of. So we're sad that it may not be hanging around forever.
Yeah.
But we, like Liz thought, let's put it on sale this week now that we have a really good stock of some of the colors. There's a few that I think we chose to kind of let phase out.
Yeah.
And some of our favorites we stocked up on. So, you lost your scissors.
I know.
I'm
not
I
worried
don't even know
about
if
it.
I could reach them. But do you want to read stats
Yes.
first once you have a second?
I have a knot. I'm good to go.
I was going to say I could show off samples if...
No.
Yeah, but you're there.
Which one do I want
Eeny,
to?
meeny, miny, moe. I don't care.
This one.
That one's very pretty.
It's my latest favorite.
Yes.
So. Heritage Wave is 75% superwash merino and 25% nylon.
Mm-hmm. Sock content, basically.
Content.
Yeah. So you can make lovely socks out of these. They would not match. They would coordinate because of how it kind of randomly shifts colors.
You get 437 yards per 100 grams. They're recommending a US 1 to a 2 needle or a C, D, or E hook. Machine wash, tumble dry. We are retailing it for $14.75.
And it'll be 15% off for this week with the code product of the week, spaces between words, at checkout. So if that is your favorite color, well, should we show samples or do colors? What do you think?
We could go ahead, show samples. We could do both.
We could do both. Well, because I think it might help to see some examples before we talk about the colors.
Yes.
I just had that thought. So I took this off our front window wall. This is my papillon that I made out of the solar So I'll hold up this color next to it. And this has 3 colors in it. It has the solar, it has black, and a little bit of white that I put in for the very end. But this is also an example. I mean, I picked this for a papillon because I thought it would look like a monarch butterfly. And it really impresses people in the shop. And I think it's super beautiful.
It's 2 different skeins. So, like, the first skein did all of that. Mm-hmm. And the second skein, the colors were more separated.
Like, this has some chunky colors in it. And I picked it specifically because of that. Like, the 2 skeins did not look the same. They were the same dye lot, they were the same yarn, but they looked very different just visually. But the effect, I think, is really stunning because you get some sections where you've got really intense different colors, even though it is just shifting through the whole thing.
And if you look close, like, this is lighter, and then it goes darker, and then it goes back to lighter.
And that might be harder to see. I'm going to put it up close. You can see that the 2 plies of color, if I get it in real close, potentially. Like, even though from far away it looks like different colors that are shifting, it's because there are different plies of different shades and how they combine that gives you this. So this was probably at least a skein and a half of the solar, 1 skein of heritage black, and then I dug into my stash for the white tips. So we don't have any kits of this right now, the papillon kits, but if you wanted to you'd save more money by buying 2 skeins of solar, with the sale code, 1 skein of black, and doing what you want to with the white. You could buy your own white, but you'll have lots of leftover, just like to warn people. But yeah, this is the colorway solar. It's got reds and oranges and some orangey yellow, and sometimes not totally yellow, but it's got flame colors in it. So
it is very sunshiny.
Right. And let me just show you all this real fast. This has a bunch of different colors in it. This was my granny square or scrappy granny tee. Lots of different colors in it. Actually, this would kind of go with my dress. Like,
it looks like you have solar in it.
No, I don't. What I do have, I have a Perth.
Oh,
That's a
yeah,
Perth.
yeah.
So, the more corally colors is not Heritage Wave. But what I do have, I cracked open a fresh skein. All of this is leftovers, except for a fresh skein of Bird of Paradise. And Bird of Paradise has overlap with solar. I didn't even get to the yellowy parts of it. But, like, you could do a fade. We're going to show some fades off in a second. But it's got some of the yellow orangey of solar. But then it's got some, like, fuchsias and purples in it. And so in here, to see how it crochets up, like up here, this pink spot, anything that looks really, really pink and purple is probably the Bird of Paradise in here. So I did some crochet with it, but this is in the middle of lots of other colors. There's only 1 Heritage Wave. There's lots of other... Actually, no, there's more than 1 Heritage Wave. Okay, so I'm going to show you... I'm going to knock a few colors out of the way. Bird of Paradise is in here. Checkers is in here.
Checkers, that's it.
Checkers is in here. Checkers is red and black and gray, which is really fun. It's, what is it? Is that Bulldog colors?
I guess.
We don't do sports teams very well, but Georgia Bulldogs, I think, are the red and black. But I've got some of the checkers in here too. But you can see, you might or might not be able to see, there's some lighter gray in this row with the red, and then darker gray, and then other types of gray in here. So I've got 2 colors of Heritage Wave mixed in with lots of other stuff in this top. So, okay, that's 3 of the colors in my samples. And then you want to talk about your favorite color?
My favorite color. This is a new one we got before we found out that,
new to us, and then suddenly it's like, wait, we can't get more, let's get lots of it.
This is Ocean Depths, and it is teal, and there's some navy or aquamarine, and then some green teal almost.
Yeah, it's like a more intense version of one of our favorites for the Papillon. These might look really similar on camera, but Ocean Depths is more saturated. So the less saturated is called tropical. It's 508. We're not necessarily.
And it has a more
numbers.
grello-y green.
Yeah, this has actual green in it, whereas that one's got a lot of teals and it's more blue greens. This has blues and greens, but it's not the turquoisey that you're going to have in the ocean depths. And yeah, it's got more of a grello-y, almost not quite olivey green. It's not quite a grass green. It's like somewhere in the middle there.
Yeah.
But tropical, people really like making papillons with either white or black out of this. It almost gives, and so we've had some kits with golden yellow too.
It looks kind of peacocky.
You've got peacock flair to that. So, where to go next? Let's do these two blues that are similar but different. I think we have more of that one. Why don't you talk about that one
This
first?
one is blues, and it's just a wave of like everything from a nice navy all the way down to a light blue.
It's got some steel blues in
And
there.
some denim-y
It's all
blues.
shades of blues, which is really nice. Doesn't have the warmer tones in it. And then this is Plume. And Plume, we don't have much of. I think if I was going to stock up on one, I picked the blues. But Plume has a little more of like aqua in it. It's like the blues, but then it's got some more aqua turquoisey, but it's all cool.
It looks like a blue smoke.
And it's all cool, and it doesn't have the greens and stuff that Ocean Depths does, or the saturation level. It's kind of lighter. So, but it's very similar. Like, again, we can pick some fades out before we go. So, a holiday favorite. This is called Holidays, with a Z. And this one it's got some like turquoisey colors in there, but then most of it is reds and greens. But it's got turquoisey and grays in between the reds and greens, or sometimes the reds and greens are combined. So it's just going to have lots of fun holiday colors in more of, instead of, again, a stripey thing, it's going to kind of fade through all these fun holiday colors. It's the pictures on the back, they have pictures of how it's supposed to knit up, and they're just dark and broody, and you can't tell anything from them. But this will have lots of holiday tones in it. And the turquoise is almost like a vintage Christmassy color. Almost. So. But the reds are really reds. I don't see much in the way of like burgundies or anything in here. It's going to be light, almost pink reds in places to a really bold Christmas red. So.
This one is Nightshade. It is everything from a lavendery purple all the way through a dark purple, and then there's shades of gray and black.
Yeah, and a little bit of like eggplanty,
yes.
It's all purples and grays.
Yes.
And it's just it's beautiful. And we've had people make various things out of it. Megan held it double-stranded to make...
Yeah, she did a black top and a purple skirt.
Yeah, not on sale this week, but with the thicker version of these is our Cascade 220 Superwash Wave. And some of these colors will continue to carry in the thicker version, but this is what we have of the thinner. And it's only what?
It was only the thinner.
Only the thinner's on sale this week. Only the Heritage is on sale this week. I just wanted to mention that some of these colors will still have a thicker version of down the road, as far as I know. So, not all the names have the same. Not all the colors have the same names when they're thicker. But yeah, it's only Heritage, and you'll see that when you go to the category online. It's only Heritage that's on sale.
I'll go again because you've done so many. This one is one of my other favorites. It's Graphite, and it's shades of gray, everything from a very pale gray all the way to a dark gray. Sometimes there's a little black in it.
Yeah, and the gray almost has hints of like a lavender purple, but not really. Like, you wouldn't look at it and go, oh, it's purple.
Yeah.
But I could see using it with the purple and doing something, because she just set it down right there. Like, that's another potential fade, or maybe only 2 fade, but to stick with neutrals, I thought this one was already gone for good, but then they said they had stock of it, so I scarfed some up. It's the Woodsy, and it's all shades of brown. Really love this for all shades of brown. And I was doing with navy and this color, I was doing my cat socks, and I think this just, again, shades of brown. If you like neutrals but you like warm neutrals, this is the one for you. So tans, browns, a little bit of yellowy browns, that kind of thing in there, so that's fun.
this is the one that stands out from all the ones we have left.
Mm-hmm.
It's lava, and it's reds, and like a brownie red. Like,
yeah. Like, we used to have roses, which had purples and reds.
Yeah.
And we didn't bring that one back in.
There's even
this one
hints
is
of pinks.
This one is really close to it, but it's got, like, warmer tones in it. So, and we don't have very much of the lava left, but it's pretty if you like reds and stuff.
I think we got some more lava in.
Did we?
I think so.
I didn't. Well,
I'm not
stock
sure.
doesn't say we do.
Okay.
We did. So, or I misread the stock levels. I want to say I thought I ordered it, but when I was looking, it didn't seem like I was probably misreading stuff. Anyway,
I thought I put lava stickers in for the sticker.
So, hopefully we do. Hopefully I misremembered that. Something else was lower than I thought it was, which means we didn't get it in. So, one of the colors I tried to order. No. Don't mind me. Okay. More, we've had it for a medium amount of time, not new, not old, is stained glass. And stained glass, it's got purples and reds and tealy blues, and then it's got black in it. So I don't think the black runs through everything, but it'll give the, like, when we make papillons, the black with another color looks like stained glass. And I think that's what they were going with this. We've got some intense jewel tones, and then black is interspersed throughout it. So I think their hope is that would end up looking like stained glass. The picture does not do any justice to it. It does go with my hair, which is lovely. But I think that's the idea. Like, it doesn't have a lot of black in there, but it's got enough that it could give a neat effect. I can't promise it's going to look anything like the papillon, because that's done on purpose with deliberate rows of actual black.
Didn't you do stained glass in one of your... No?
In one of my what?
Like your Stephen West pillars or...
No, the quadrangle spires, I did the Perth Wineglass Bay, and I did Tropical.
Yeah, I'm thinking Wineglass Bay.
Yeah. It kind of looks like Wineglass Bay in the Perth, but there aren't the yellows and other things. It's a little more dark and broody. I also did Alice Springs in that one. So this one is a newer one, and I have not seen how it knits up. This could have some Wineglass Bay effect to it.
Yeah.
This is called Wildflowers, and to me, it just looks really pretty. It's got some of those blues and fuchsias, but then it's also got some greens and yellows and things, and it's almost like a muted rainbow, but still really intense. It's not light, but it's also not super saturated. I think it could be super pretty, but again,
I'd just like to say at this point, hold on, the skeins don't always look the same as what we're showing you because of the way the colors go together, and sometimes you get more...
Are you thinking of one of this color?
Yeah, it was in the Wildflowers, but like I pulled out.
And people will be like, "Those aren't the same color." Yes, they are.
And so these, I want to say, are all the same dye lot as the one you got.
Of the Wildflowers?
Of
Wow.
the Wildflowers.
And some of this has a lot more of the yellow and green in it, but they're all Wildflowers. Yeah. We promise you. So that's an example. And wow, this one, I mean, it might have some yellow deep in it. And sometimes you can't see from the twist. When you wind it up, it'll look different. Like this one's got very little green in it. It's mostly blue. And some of these I haven't photographed yet for the website. So when I do, I'll try to put at least 2 or 3 skeins, like say of this one especially. Like we've got 15 colors and I can only have 12 photos online. So I'm going to have to put some together, like photograph them in the same picture. So I can't just do one, like I can't just take a picture of this for Wildflowers unless it's one of my singles. I don't know. But that's really important to show. Definitely.
I some of the ones with fewer colors, like you'll get ones that have where like the solar, where, because there's only really 2 primary colors in this, and so you'll get ones that could be all spun pretty similar together, and then this one looks like it has a red stripe in it because of the way the color's plied.
And like this one of these looks like it's almost this color with some pink in it, but then the next one, like this one, they're just all so different. Okay, let's do our last color.
The last color is grape. what I would... Sorry. What I was going to say
Don't
is...
be dismissive of it. No, I'm kidding. Yes?
The colors that have more than, like, 2 or 3 color shades in them, like grape, most of the grape look like the same thing.
Yeah.
And the solar, most of those look like the same thing. It's when they get multiple colors.
Yeah,
like
the
Bird
more
of
varied.
Paradise.
Yeah, the more varied the colors are in the skein, the more chance skein to skein they'll look really, really different. Like the Bird of Paradise, the stained glass, the wildflowers. You could try to make a request when you buy it of I'd like more of this or that, and that we cannot guarantee that. We're just going to be pulling from what stock we have. And you can give us notes like I'd like them all to look as similar as possible, or I'd like them to look really different. And again, if we can, we'll do that. If we have a limited supply left, you're going to get what you're going to get. We'll make sure it's the same dye lot, but they may look like they're not the same dye lot because of just how this is done. So I think that's a really good point. So let's talk about grapes because it is a really pretty color and it's a really good seller for us.
It's everything from like a medium purple down to a fuchsia pink.
We'll keep talking about that
and
in a second.
It looks like grapes. It's so much fun.
And it's one of the colors. This is my Dottie cowl, which is crochet, which everybody who comes to the shop absolutely loves. And this side, what's not the dark speckles in it is grapes crocheted with little V stitches. And then on the other side, this is a color we no longer carry, but the little dots in it are the grapes. And so it just does this really slow, subtle fade, but there's different colors in there. Like there's a lighter patch here. It slowly fades. And it's a really popular colorway in the shop in all thicknesses. So before we go, I want to, my brain was already pulling at some fades here. If I mean, I don't know what pattern specifically I would suggest, but like these two, and then if you wanted to, you could go in the direction of some pinks and stuff. Like the green overlaps between the tropical and what I'm seeing in the wildflowers. So that could be pretty if you wanted to take it to that color, or you could take it in the direction of the plume. And you could keep it, there's a little green in there, but you could keep it all blues.
I'd almost put the plume over here.
Over on this side?
Yeah.
Oh, that could be fun too. Right? And then, like, this.
Solar.
Well, the solar to that to this. The solar to the Birds of Paradise to the plume takes you, if you like the warm colors, to the purples. That is really pretty. I was also thinking potentially you could move it in this direction. I mean, you could keep the solar in there. Any of these. Like you can go from gray to purple to pink to add the warm, or you could just have these three. I think that would be really pretty too. I think there's so many, because it already waves, and if you add more waves in, I mean, the ones we were showing before could go from the plume to the blues. I mean, there's just
endless possibilities.
This guy could go with the plume, and with the wildflowers could go with the grapes, and then that could go to Birds of Paradise. You know, that could either, like, oh my gosh, there's just so much. The woodsy kind of stands alone.
Yeah.
But you could get a really random combo of this. You could do a shift cowl, which is written for more sport weight. If you wanted a lighter weight version of it, the Heritage Wave is fantastic. We often do kits for the shift cowl by Andrew Mowry with the DK from Feederbrook. But if you wanted a lightweight version, this is great. Lightweight version of anything that has spin cycle in it. This would be the way to go.
I want to say one of the first night shift kits that I helped put together. Amy G. Shout out to Amy G.
She held stuff double. And
she did, because we weren't paying attention, and she was like, oh, it's fingering weight. And then she looked at it and she went, no, it's worsted weight. And I told her just held it double, but she had 6 balls of this and held them all held the colors double. And she had more than enough.
I didn't know if the colors got muddy or if it still, she still liked it, right? I think,
you could still tell the difference in the colors.
Cool.
Because she picked like the woodsy and the blues and,
If you're doing anything that has color shifty things like Spin Cycle calls for, like the shift, the night shift, all of those patterns by Andrea Mowry, you want to pick colors that don't fade like we just held up. You want to pick colors that look like they would be like, that would be really, really stark contrast to each other. Maybe even throwing like this in there or something.
And a blue.
So yeah, like we could do a blue or even the ocean depths and the solar and you want colors that are gonna pop against each other so it really shows up.
Not found in the same room, let alone the same project.
Right, exactly. So, and then that can be really fun. So have fun with that. We have stock while it lasts, and some of it we could reorder if Cascade still has stock, but I cannot make any promises on that. So we stocked up, which should take us through this week because I don't see people buying massive quantities. But down the road, we may not be able to get it back in. So yeah, if you love it, get it now. And for the next week, you can save 15% with the code Product of the Week.
Product of the Week.
Yay!
No, all spaces.
Spaces between the words.
Yes.
We're going to confuse so many people. That's
Sorry.
okay. Contact us if you have questions or issues or all that kind of stuff. So, I could almost see like the graphite and then there's black in this and then you could go like, again, I'm thinking of fades again, like, or just colors that could go together. It's just so fun. Yeah. So we have to go get some packages ready and get ready for lessons and setup and all that fun stuff. And I'm going to piece together these 2 pieces of our video because we had someone come knock on the door. And tomorrow is Dear Becky and Lizzie. So if you have questions for us to ponder and film, you should email
Liz at sundragonartandfiber.com.
And yeah, we'll talk more about like our anniversary month and other things possibly tomorrow. But I like to keep this one focused just on sale yarn for the week. Yay! And I have to go take pictures.
Oh, you have to stand up and show off your new dress.
Yeah, don't mind my knees. Ow. So I got 5 new dresses last night, and this one, if y'all saw the navy one, this is the navy in a different color, and it's olive, and I love it. Like, it's just a dark broody green, and I love it. Yay! I can twirl almost.
You can
not
twirl
as much as you, but I can do this. I'm having fun. I'm having fun with stuff. So yes, ta-da! And I think this would actually the top here. Let me show y'all before we go. I think this would go lovely with it. I think it's kind of long. This is the Vivo. This is the Dewdrop. Is that the color, maybe?
Yes.
There's some greens in this. And so my hope, especially as the weather shifts, I know it's a sleeveless dress, but my hope is that I can wear, this is why the new one I'm making, I'm probably going to do cropped.
But it looks like you're just wearing a skirt.
Ta-da! Then I don't have to buy skirts. I love it. Okay.
I bet the Jupiter crop
another day
gorgeous.
because that will be hot on right now. But y'all have a good day. We'll see you tomorrow. Bye.
Bye.